Okay, we'll get started. There may still be a few students that trickle in. As I mentioned, we were supposed to have about 40 in the classroom today, so hopefully a few more students will trickle in. I'm Amy Freeling. I direct Engineering Career Services. I'm the one that's sending you lots of crazy emails, so thank you for responding and being excited about this terrific City Scholars program. And congratulations to all of you for being selected to participate in this program. It's a very competitive program, especially as we're launching this. It's our very first time heading to Chicago to offer classes as part of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in Chicago. And so you are a very special group of students to us to be participating in this program. Let me introduce in the back of the room here, we have Dean Ravioli, who is helping us on some of the academic side, and Professor Liang Wu, who is our Associate Dean, helping us with facilities as well. We have a huge committee that is working on this, everything from the professors and staff here in Urbana-Champaign to the mayor's office up in Chicago, to folks at the Illini Center, which we'll hear about in a few minutes, as well as a terrific group of 18 companies that are partnering with us. So again, for this particular pilot first run program up in Chicago, there's lots of hands on deck to make this program a great success. So thank you for being a part of it. You probably all know this because it was in my emails and it's on our website. The date's January 16th to May 2nd, 2018. Everybody have that on your calendars? Yes? Okay, great. That's when the program runs. January 16th is the first day of classes. So this program coincides with the semester. Just a reminder, and again, you guys should know this already from the job application, from the website, and from the emails that I sent you. But there's multiple elements to this particular program. It is a full-time class schedule, so you're going to be expected to take 12 hours of classes. Okay. Some will be taught right in Chicago at the Illini Center. Some you might take online, and some might be a hybrid of some classes that are broadcast from Champaign to the city Illini Center, and then those might be rebroadcast back here to students here on campus that will also participate in that class. So a very hybrid model of classes. You will also have special access to the leadership in Chicago, the entrepreneurs, the movers and shakers. That will be both through the classroom experiences, but also through some, what I refer to as extracurricular activities. They're evening events, lunches. We really want to showcase the city of Chicago to you. So there'll be some fun aspects to the social side of Chicago, but also some great aspects of interacting with the entrepreneurs and leaders of Chicago. Housing at the University of Illinois at Chicago is included for this pilot group. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit more about housing in a moment. Your internships are part-time, 20 hours a week. They are paid $25 an hour. All of the companies are offering the same hourly rate. Okay. And there's a company intern matchmaking process that will happen, and I'll get into that as well. So that's kind of the program overview. If you have questions throughout my presentation today, please don't hesitate to stop me and ask away, okay? And then there'll be time at the end of the presentation to also address any questions that you have. I am recording this presentation for those students that weren't able to be here today, so I'm kind of confined to this area. So if you have a question, do speak loud so I can hear you, and I will repeat it so that those that are watching the video later can hear the question. Okay. A little bit out of order. Okay. The classes that are available for you to take are the classes in this list here. Most of the internship descriptions that you probably read all are pretty technical in nature, and so we want to make sure that you're continuing your progress in your technical majors. Your academic advisor will help you prepare or select the classes that you take, not only from this list, but if there's some online or some other areas where you want to take some classes. Okay, have any of you already spoken to your academic advisors about this program? Anybody? Okay, I know registration for classes is coming up pretty soon. So you will want to talk with your academic advisors to find the best game plan for you. I think at this point, we're recommending that you go ahead and register for classes here on campus. And then once you're matched with a company, you can change your class load. And Umberto, Lane, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, we're going to set up special sections for all these courses, just for City Scholars, so that we reserve seats for the City Scholars. So, assuming that you want to stay flexible, as Andy just said, you may want to register for your normal schedule if you were not going to Chicago. But as soon as we can match with the company, and we can go ahead and set you up with the special section for these courses. Okay? And we can coordinate with the advisors in this part.
And just to repeat what Umberto said for the video, is that there will be special sections set up for the City Scholars courses. So you can work with your academic advisors to get permission to enroll in those courses. Yes.
So if we are graduating next semester, we are like underload.
That's a great question for Umberto. If a student is graduating next semester, are they allowed to have an underload for this program?
That was something we have to discuss separately, I suppose.
So that would be an individual meeting with your academic advisor or with Team Ravioli. Yes.
So I was trying to sign up for online courses for this, and they're blocking me saying, it's for this is part of an online master's program or whatnot. Would that be resolved? Because I do want to take some online courses that I think would advance some of the plans that I have.
So you're trying to register for online master's
courses? Just online courses, for example, like artificial intelligence and stuff like that, and they're blocking me saying it's only available for online master's students.
Okay. So some of the online courses for CS.
They are not open for this program because you can see CS 498 AML, Applied Machine Learning. That is one of those courses which also are for master programs, which we have made available in this program for scholars. But we cannot open all the classes. We may have a few seats which we have negotiated with campus to allow students to be as undergraduate enrolled in those courses. But I don't know if you can have priority being in this program. There are only a few seats for the whole campus that are allowed at this point. It's a private program to allow our students to take those courses.
So only courses like that are included in this, you'd be able to.
At this point, I'm not sure we can.
What about online courses that are not taught in that manner? Can you still take it and include it?
It is possible for you as a student to take a course which is online, designed for undergraduates. There is a certain range of them. Many have gen eds. You won't see a lot of technical courses, and so you should look for courses that make you progress towards your degree. So some of them may be second half semester courses. Let's say it's a gen ed that you need to graduate. That is an acceptable course as well.
So aside from these courses, any online course that you want, like blocked for some reason,
You should be
as long as it's for your.
Of course, you should try to make sure you can combine your classes and work, so you should not overload yourself too much.
Yeah.
Because then you don't perform well in the company is not happy with you, may not properly, follow up, right? And then you may not be doing well in the courses because you are taking too many. Right. So there's to be some balance. Okay.
So let me just overview this for the video, and then we'll take your question. If you're looking at online classes or any other courses, if they're available to you, you can certainly consider them as long as you're really making progress towards your degree. It's probably best to talk with your academic advisor so that they can help you determine which classes are the best ones for you to enroll in. There's this list here that are specific for City Scholars, but there are also some online or other classes that you might be able to take to continue to make that progress. Keep in mind, though, this program, even though you're taking 12, minimum of 12 hours of courses, there are going to be lots of other extra activities in the evenings, on the weekends potentially, that will want you to participate, and you won't want to miss them. And so be careful not to really overload yourself with academics beyond what is necessary for participation in the program, so that you can also enjoy the other aspects of getting to know Chicago, connecting and networking with the leadership that really is exclusive to you. Not everyone is going to have access to the CTOs, CEOs, founders of these organizations. So it really is an added value for this program that makes this program very unique.
So what are the class sizes for all the courses offered here? Are we allowed to choose any course we want among these?
So what are the class sizes?
Yeah.
There's a couple of classes, like this TE 360 is a required class for all of the students. The classroom maximum size, I think, is about 60. And that's going to be about the size of the City Scholars Program. So you all should be able to participate in these classes. Any concerns? Yeah. So there's classroom space for, like I said, 60, and there's 3 or 4 different classrooms and other nice space. So that shouldn't be an issue. Yes.
So you said TE 360 is required for all City Scholars.
Yes.
And why is that? What is that course?
Yeah, TE 360, the Lectures in Engineering Entrepreneurship, is one of the classes where we're going to be bringing in guest speakers. So they will be the CTOs, they will be the founders of companies. And so we want you to be part of that series of lectures and interactions.
I already took that course last spring. So with those credits, that would be occupied, but I at least like a 1 credit course. So that just
How the credits, if you've already taken TE 360, how would you handle the credit hours for that?
Say it again.
If the student's already taken TE 360, would they be able to take it again and still earn credit?
We can certainly make any allowance for that. This is an opportunity which is too good to pass up. But I mean, you want to go to these lectures and review the credits you need.
So again, talk with your academic advisor, and if there's any special circumstances like that,
You can
we
fix
will
it.
we'll work it out. Again, we want this program, it's our pilot program, we want it to work. We're going to be flexible and work with you as best as we can to help you make progress towards your degree, but also make sure that you're able to maximize the value of this program, and you really aren't going to want to miss the networking with the leadership.
So what exactly is the goal of this program? Like, why are you offering this? Why does this exist?
Yeah.
I will comment on that because many of you will be entrepreneurs, and we would like to lead you to give an example about what mistakes made, and that will save you billions of dollars in your company future. And you are interacting with CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, and all this will be mentoring you. We want that close connection with you. So you're going to learn a lot by participating in a class such as TE 360. For this reason, that you can work with your advisor to work out arrangements to earn the credits that you need for your graduation. So you will have a lot of this opportunity. People may come in to talk about their startup and how to get financing, how to get the company started, and will be very, very valuable, I believe. That's one of the really the very special experience we want to be. And that particular time for that particular course will be between 1 p.m. to 2:30. We are working on the schedule with Professor Umberto Ravioli. We'll let you know more about the traffic.
Part of your question was also why this program exists, right? And that's because Chicago is developing a master plan to become a big hub for high tech. And so Chicago needs talent, and they naturally look at the University of Illinois students as the best talent in the country. Right? So Chicago is making an effort to give you a chance to experience the city, not just as a tourist, but as a professional, at the same time as being a student, and offer you also, as Amy was saying, a connection with the leadership, with the network of of the professionals over there so that you can see what opportunities you can have.
Okay.
You know, we want to see you take advantage of the opportunity. You know, if you have ideas for starting a company, why not starting the company in Chicago? If they can create the condition to make it successful.
So you're working with the city of Chicago with us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The mayor is
Nice.
on board, the governor is on board.
Okay.
And that course, from what I heard, they also may rotate you to go to different companies to see the data server and the security setup, and you can do elbow with all the CTO, CEO, and also the employee in that site as well. So we expect that rotation to happen as well.
Okay. Life at UIC, UIC's University of Chicago campus. I'm going to hand out some flyers here. If you just pass these along. As I mentioned, we are going to be offering housing. Actually, we expect all of you to stay in the housing at the UIC. The University of Illinois at Chicago campus is about a mile from the Illini Center, which is where you'll be taking your classes. So it's walking distance if it's nice out. You can ride your bike. There's also public transportation that will take you directly to the Illini Center or to any of the 18 companies. All of the 18 companies are in the Chicago Loop area. Again, walking distance, or hop on the bus or the L and you can get to your workplace very quickly. All of the tech companies are kind of located in some central areas, kind of clustered, and you'll find and learn more about that when you're actually working in the city. One thing you may want to consider purchasing, though, is a meal plan at the dorm that's not included in this program. There are some options. You can purchase a meal plan similar to a meal plan at the dorms here for about $1,500 for the duration of the semester, or you can purchase what's called the Flames Fare card, and that you load this card for, I think you can do it in $50 increments, and then you can use it at a variety of what I would consider fast food restaurants in the area. And so, you know, Chick-fil-A, Au Bon Pain, some of those kinds of things if you like to eat out a lot. Keep in mind, as you're considering that though, many of the companies you work for do have food available. They're probably going to be bringing in lunches or breakfasts. We may have some dinners for some of the activities that we do. So you know, you will have access to some food options outside of the dorm or the fast food. The CTA UPass is available for $140. Again, that enables you to use all CTA buses and trains. It doesn't include the Metra, so if any of you are from the Chicago suburbs or have friends in the Chicago suburbs where the Metra train takes you out, the CTA UPass does not include those, but if you're going to take the L or the bus, it's a great value. If you want to have access to things like the library, campus rec, there are some additional fees associated with that that go to the University of Chicago, University of Illinois at Chicago, similar to the fees that you would pay here on our campus. So we won't be charging you obviously to use the ARC here on our campus, but if you want to use a similar kind of facility at UIC, there'd be a fee for that. Again, some of these companies may have their own fitness centers. They might have memberships that they would offer to you. So it might be good to hold off on that and talk with the companies and see what they can offer you before you add up the fees there. If you're going to have a vehicle, UIC does have parking. You can go to their website and see what the options are for parking your vehicle. Okay, we talked a little bit already about the internships. We have 18 companies, and that's translating to about 60 internship opportunities. That does not guarantee you an internship. That means those are opportunities. I have some companies that have said, I will take up to 10 interns, depending on the fit. So that's what's going to be evaluated throughout the next week or so when we do the networking and the interviewing process, okay? So at the high end, there'll be about 60 of you interning. It could be much lower than that depending on the fit of your interest in the company's expectations for what the skills they're looking for. The internships are expected to be a full semester. So your last internship work day would be the last day of the semester, which is May 2nd. That gives you enough time to take your 2 weeks for your finals. And then if you want to stay with that company, the company may extend options for you for a summer internship. That's something that you can be talking with those companies about now as you're interacting with those companies, okay? Most of the classes that we have scheduled that we were just talking about are scheduled for Tuesdays and Thursdays. That enables you to work Monday, Wednesday, and half of Friday. That gives you your 20 hours per week, okay? Yes, there might be some flexibility there. If you're working on a big project, the company may ask you to put a couple extra hours in 1 week and maybe back off the following week. So there might be some flexibility there, but generally speaking, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'd spend working, and Tuesdays and Thursdays in the Illini Center participating in classes. And then Friday, we're hoping in the afternoons, you would have some additional time to participate in Chicago activities that I mentioned earlier about getting to know the city of Chicago, maybe touring some of the companies that are participating to actually get a sense of not just what the company you're interning looks like, but what some of the other companies look like. So that's tentatively planned for Friday afternoons. I think you guys are aware of the participating companies because you've all ranked them for the networking event that's coming up. These companies are so excited to meet you. The team of us have been going up to Chicago meeting with companies over the last several weeks. They are so excited to show off their space. Some of their space, surprising to me, I mean, it looks like Silicon Valley space. And you don't necessarily expect that when you walk into a building that's been in Chicago for 100 years. You walk in and it looks like something brand new. They put a lot of money into making it an open workspace, bringing perks in and making it a really nice environment, and they're really excited to show that to you. Yes?
I'm kind of confused. The program is only for the spring, not for the summer.
That is correct. The program itself is just for the spring. Many of the companies are interested in having the internship spill over into the summer, but that would be a separate discussion that you would have with the company. You wouldn't be required to take classes. You wouldn't be required to live in the UIC housing. So you would make your own arrangements with the company, maybe renegotiate the wages. Again, maybe you want to live in an apartment, those kinds of things. Other questions?
I just want to make a comment about the companies. Some of them may not sound like high-tech companies, but all of these companies are very interested in developing a lot of high-tech, especially data related applications. So you look at Walgreens, you may think, well, that's a pharmacy, right? Well, why should I be interested in that? But you have to think that all of these are major corporations that are really very much getting to the big game of high tech these days. So I think it will be for many of you an interesting surprise, because it's not just the Google or the Amazon that we are so used to. When it comes to especially the computer science disciplines, computer engineering. These are old companies sometimes, but major global companies.
I will add that our team met with the representative from McDonald's. They're moving their headquarters to downtown. If you look at McDonald's, you need to think about their global business. Think about how many burgers they sell. But they are doing the data analytics, very deep data analytics in terms of their whole business model, strategy, global expansion, you name it. And all those companies, they're big. They are also very progressive in recruiting talent. That's what they want from this group. And we want to congratulate you for being selected to this very special pool. And we want to give you the best wishes. At the same time, answer any question you may have.
I think, how many of you, I should ask you at the beginning, how many of you are from the Chicagoland area? Okay, so quite a few are not familiar with Chicago. Some of these companies, like Professor Ling was just mentioning, McDonald's is in Oak Brook, so it's in one of the suburbs. That's the headquarters. They've been there for as long as I can remember. They are moving to Chicago. because they want to be part of the tech scene. They want to be able to attract young tech talent. And so they have a new space in Chicago that's part of this vibrant tech community. Same thing with Walgreens. They're in the suburbs, located probably about a 45-minute train ride out. However, they've opened up centers in Chicago, and those are their tech spaces, and that's where you'll be working. So all of these companies, if you were to do your research and look them up online, they may show their headquarters out in the suburbs. Where you'll be working is in the city. Okay.
And most of them are a stone's throw from Illini Center, where the class will be. So, easy to view.
So for those of you that didn't see our Associate Dean Mike Devisel sneak in, he is another one that is working as a team for this project. We've all been working really hard to make this a great experience for you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you're going to meet these companies. So all of the companies receive an electronic resume book for all of the participating students. Okay, so they all already have your resumes. How many of you have received emails from companies already marketing? Good. I suggested to them that they reach out to you and give you a little bit more information about their positions, about their companies, and about what you might expect if you were to be interviewing with them in the next week or so. So I'm glad that they've been reaching out. All of you have received the internship job descriptions for companies. There are a few missing, and I appreciate you being patient for that. It didn't appear to really influence anybody's rankings of the companies, which is great. Know that I will continue to add to that list as companies give me their internship descriptions. I think there's 2 or 3 companies still that we're waiting for those. So again, as soon as I have them, I'm making them available to you to review. Did anybody have any trouble downloading the internship descriptions or accessing them through the Illinois Box account? Okay. If you have any trouble, make sure that you reach out to me and let me know. I want you to have all the information that you can before you meet with these companies. So you and the companies will meet on Monday at the speed networking event, and I'll go into more details in a minute. That's on the 23rd. On the 24th, 25th, and 26th, the companies will be hosting interviews here on campus in the 3rd floor here in the ECS interview suite. After that happens, after the interview processes are completed, you will have the opportunity to indicate which companies you're interested in working for. The companies will do the same thing. And then there's an algorithm that actually one of the faculty from computer science wrote for me that matches you with the companies. So each student that is a right fit for the company would get 1 offer. You're not going to get multiple offers from this program. You will be assigned to 1 company, and you'll have a little bit of time to evaluate that offer. I have a timeline in just a minute, in the slide in a minute. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, if you don't like the company you got matched with, can you get another offer?
You will not get another offer. Most likely, it will just be a decline to participate. Yes?
What if after the career fair that you decide to change up your rankings?
So you actually won't, the rankings that you did for the networking night are different than the rankings that you'll do for the company match for internships. So what you ranked for the networking night is what I am using to assign you to the tables that you're going to rotate to network with the companies. Okay. After that's done, after the interviews have taken place, you'll get to go into a different system and you will rank the companies that you met and that you're interested in working for. The companies will do the same thing. They will indicate what students are acceptable and meets their qualifications, and then the algorithm does its magic. Yes?
So will we know which company we'll work for before we commit?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, and I have a timeline in the slide in just a minute here that will, I think, make it a little clearer for you. Okay, let's go through the networking night. Again, it's Monday night, 5:30 to 8. Okay, from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. I'm envisioning that we're going to all show up right around 5:30. I'm going to have some food. We'll do welcome remarks, and then we're going to get started at 6 o'clock on the dot. Okay, what will happen is you will be assigned to rotate to 10 different company tables. Okay, you're not going to be able to go to all 18. Because there just isn't enough time and your qualifications may not align with all of the companies. So you're going to rotate through 10 tables with probably 3 or 4 other students. At those tables, you'll have 5 minutes to talk with the company rep that's there, and then you'll have 1 minute to move to the next table. I will be directing it, so I'm not sure yet if I'll be using a blowhorn or a buzzer or what I'll do, but you will know when it's time to move to the next table. When you check in at the networking night, you will receive a card that tells you the order of companies or order of tables that you will be rotating to, okay? So that will happen for the first probably hour and a half. After that, it's gonna open up to just open networking. So if you weren't assigned to one of the companies that you had indicated you were really interested in, I apologize. I had a lot of students were interested in a lot of the same companies. And so there was some balancing and some allocation of students to different company tables. I think it's great because it'll give you an opportunity to learn about a company maybe that you weren't as familiar with, or maybe that is going to surprise you about the opportunities that they have. But know that at the end of the speed networking, you will have that opportunity to go and talk with any company you wish to continue a conversation with, or start one if you didn't already get to talk with them. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes.
Based on the companies that have reached us through email, right, that have looked at the resumes already, have you specifically, I mean, can we not send those companies and say that we do want to meet them because they want?
Absolutely. I think you should be following up with those companies. You may or may not be assigned to them for the speed networking event because they have not shared with me who they're interested in. Okay, so I'm clearly assigning you based on the rankings that you did in the registration form, and then having to adjust it manually because of, like you said, a lot of students had similar rankings, so we had to spread it out amongst all 18. Okay. Yes.
What is the dress code?
Dress code is casual. Okay? If you want to pick it up and wear more business casual, that would be fine. Make your best impression, but you do not have to wear a business suit. Okay. Good question.
Do you have to bring your resume, or is it just have to?
Yeah, I would bring some resumes, but given that you're only going to have 5 minutes to talk with these companies initially, and they already should have a copy of your resume, it's not going to be necessary in most cases. I would have a few on hand just in case the company asks for it. This way you're prepared. So if you have a Padfolio that you can keep it in, and this way you can take some notes and have a notepad, and it'll look very professional, that would be great too. Some students told me that Padfolios are no longer the way of the world, that you do everything electronically. So if you need to bring an iPad, or if you're taking notes on a laptop or something, just make sure that you can have some place safe to store those resumes in case somebody asks you for it.
Is it possible for us to get the list of companies we're going to speak to beforehand?
Yes, and I hope to get that to you by Friday. Taking a little bit longer than I had planned, but yes, I would like you to have it before the weekend so that you can make sure you're familiar with the companies and do some research. So I'll say by Friday every day, okay? Other questions? Okay. Again, as I mentioned earlier, many of the companies are doing interviews the 24th, 25th, and 26th. On the 24th is also the Think Chicago Roadshow. Do you all know about that? Okay, this is an event. You can find out a little bit more information about it through the Handshake system. It is the mayor's office coordinates every year a visit to campus where they bring Chicago companies, and the goal is to showcase Chicago tech companies to students. That event happens from 3 until 7 on the 24th. Many of the companies that are participating in City Scholars are staying to do interviews the next day and then participate in the Think Chicago Roadshow. So I would encourage you to plan on going to that event as well. It's another opportunity for you to engage and interact with the companies. Let's see. Some companies may have more involved interview processes. So after interviewing on campus or instead of interviewing on campus, they may want to follow up with you the following week to schedule some additional assessments, some type of testing, have a phone or Skype interview. So you can expect some follow-up from some of the companies as well. Many of the companies are building their interview schedules both from the resumes that they've already received, but also from the speed networking night. Okay, they're gonna have a little slip of paper that they're gonna be filling it out and then reaching out to you that evening to invite you to interviews. So make sure that you don't turn your phone off, that you're available to address their phone calls or emails when they ask you for an interview for the 24th or the 25th. Okay? Yes.
Do you have any knowledge that they will hold behavior interviews or technical?
Yeah, several of the companies I've talked to did mention they're doing technical interviews, or a part of their interview process is technical in nature. So I would be prepared for both. Okay.
Can I comment on the behavioral and also the technical interview? Don't get nervous. A lot of times students, you get so nervous, so tied up. My daughter recruited for her school. The best candidate came out as being natural, being yourself, being relaxed, being cool, and being focused. Because once you get tied up and you have less chance of impressing others, and try not to be someone else, just to be yourself. You are as good as we can get. We're proud of you. Think about that, and that confidence will carry you. I just want to really tell you that confidence is very important. Just be yourself, and you will be just fine. People will be so glad to see you and get to know you. And that's very important to tell you.
Yes. So how does the matching process work? I have already explained it to you that there's an algorithm that's going to match based on your ranking as well as the company's ranking. I will send a link to that algorithm after the interviewing process is completed, and you'll see a slide here of what the timeline is on making sure you get those ranks done. Okay, here's the timeline. Speed networking on Monday, interviews Tuesday through Thursday. And then companies that want to do extended interviewing processes, like I said, those assessments and things would have until November 3rd to reach out to you and coordinate those. The 6th of November will be the ranking day. Okay, both you and the companies will fill that out. I will run the algorithm, and on the 10th, you should be receiving an offer. Okay. You will have a week to review the offer and make a decision, and let the company know, as well as you know that you've accepted or declined. I'm hoping that they will all be great acceptances, but if you have any questions about your offer or any concerns throughout this process, make sure you reach out to me. I will make myself available to talk with you and coach you through any of the offers you receive. Yes?
So for those companies you'll be able to rank at 11-6, must be those companies you get interview by, right?
No. You can rank those, but you can rank more as well, okay? I can't guarantee you that those companies are, well, I can tell you the companies all have to rank all students, okay? So there's 78 students. There's gonna be a ranking of all students. It's not a ranking of 1 to 78. It's a ranking of 1, this is my top student, meets all of my qualifications, to a 5, which is, yeah, the student is a good student, maybe was missing some of my qualifications, but I'm still interested in meeting with them, okay? So you will rank all of the companies, they will rank all of the students, and then that match will happen. So it could be that you may not get matched with your first choice company, but you would still get matched with a company that was interested in having you work for them. And that's why thinking through this program, thinking through the kind of experience that you'll gain, even if you're being offered an internship for a company that might have been your second or third choice, I think it's still going to have a lot of value to you given this program. Okay? I'm happy to talk with you about anything offer related once those offers come out. Good question. Okay, so November 17th is the date that you would need to make that decision by, and that is also before Thanksgiving break. So kind of a mental note to yourself, you need to let us know before Thanksgiving break what your decision is. The moving days into the dorms in Chicago, and the program will have a program launch or a welcome, is going to happen that week of, I think the 12th is a Friday. So the 12th through the 15th, and we'll just provide more details as we get further along in those planning. Classes begin the 16th, which then the internships begin on the 17th. Again, classes are Tuesday, Thursday, which is the 16th is a Tuesday. Okay, questions? Anything that I missed? Yes.
I think I just showed up a little bit late, but you still have to have 12 credit hours, right?
Yes. Unless there's a special circumstance, we're expecting you to have a full course load. If there's a special circumstance, then Dean Ravioli or your academic advisor, you just need to have a conversation with them. Yes,
Will these slides be posted on, or just the videos?
I'm sorry.
The slides, will they be posted on?
I can make them available, yeah. I'll just put them in the same Illinois box account and send you a link to them so that you can access it.
I just had a question about like the financial stuff. So like in terms of classes, right, we'd still be taking, since we are U of I students, we'd be paying U of I for the tuition and everything related to that. In terms of housing, we're not in charge of that, if I believe what I heard. And then all subsequent like kind of like facilities and stuff like that, would be connected to UIC, or would we be doing it through you? I just want to know how that would work.
We're still having conversations with UIC on the fees and things like that for access to library, student recreation. We'll be getting a UPass with access to all the CTA to the Allen buses instead of the MTD bus here. So those are things we're still working on, but fees are comparable to what you would pay here for the access to all those other peripheral things. And the housing, I should say, especially in case you talk to your colleagues or the underclassmen who might be interested in this future semester. If you came to one of the info nights, the housing we're covering for you is the dorm itself, because the dean did not want that to be a disincentive to all of you who might have already signed a year's lease here and have to worry about whether you can sublet or not the spring semester here for housing. And we're covering that for this spring semester, but in case any of your underclassmen beyond you ask, in future semesters, the beauty of you all getting to be in a pilot is you get that housing cost. Future students, just like if they were doing study abroad, et cetera, they will be paying for housing on their own. But the board component, meal plans, et cetera, those you got to eat somewhere. So those will be fees that would be passed along, but we are covered in the dorm room. The other information, though, on those fees, we're still working on with UIC. So we'll get that information to you. But some of those components of that will be incorporated just as if you had access and the fees that you pay here for things here.
So are we still paying tuition to UIUC next semester?
Yes, for the City Scholars Program, you still pay tuition to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. The bill will come through your regular campus. You'll just be living on the UIC campus.
So, question, sorry. So based on what you just said, is it possible, so it is possible for us to be accepted to companies that didn't actually interview us, right?
It is. I would imagine that they will have wanted to talk to you before extending an offer or ranking you, but yes, that is possible. And you do have the opportunity to decline it. If you're matched with a company you have absolutely no interest in, or you just for some reason don't want to work for that company, you get to make the final choice. I have to say, I mean, all of these companies are great companies, so I would encourage you, no matter what company you're matched with, really take the time to explore them and look at the opportunity. As I mentioned, we've been visiting most of these companies to see their workspace, to talk with their leadership, and they are committed to providing you with an amazing internship experience, because their goal is to hopefully get you coming back for full time and telling your friends about what a great company they are to work with, what a great environment the Chicago tech scene is. And so they're really committed to making sure you have exposure to a great experience and the technology community that is really vibrant in Chicago.
And I would say too that they're looking to, these companies are looking to gain access to the whole cohort, not just the student they place. So they want to show off their headquarters, and so some of the TED Light talks, et cetera, you all might together be going to cars.com brand new shiny headquarters. So they can host one event there, another company, et cetera. They want access to all of you, not just one or two students that might be working for them. So you should also really look at this in terms of the whole ecosystem that you're about to step into, not just the one internship and the classes you take. It's really a live, work, study, play, and among the whole tech community. The TE 360, did you discuss that as a requirement? But that these CTOs, CEOs, CIOs are very excited about helping to co-teach and or interact and host these sessions. So the perk you'll get of being a part of this program is access to these corporate leaders, which your cohort students back here won't have access.
So I can add one more thing about Chicago summertime. I'm a sailor, I can tell you. It's a lot of fun. If you want to learn sailing out of Belmont Harbor, you can join Chicago Sailing Club within maybe 2-3 weeks, and you'll be able to have the license and take the sailboat out and with your friend. It's a lot of fun. Lakefront, there's so many activities that you could enjoy. We also expect to have certificate event sponsored by company, for example, architectural tour and other activities to really get you engaged with the local tech community and corporate scene. And you get to have all this opportunity to do so. So we were very glad to help you with this opportunity.
Sorry, I can't get you Cubs tickets right now. But hopefully.
Not now, but we are already working on a Cubs event for the spring semester.
Yeah, some company we're talking about sponsoring that. Any Sox fan or?
No Cardinal fans, right?
No.
Except Mike in the back room, so we can all pick on him.
The guy who's organizing the Cubs event is a Cardinal fan. Yeah.
Again, if you have any questions, I know we threw a lot of information at you. Think about it. If there's questions, feel free to reach out to me. My office is in Engineering Career Services. Any of the deans are available to you as well. Your academic advisors are well versed on this program. So there's a lot of people in the college here that can help answer any questions that you have. Just don't hesitate to ask.
How many of you are aware of the location we will be called Illini Center at all? Not all of you. We'll be right across the river from Amtrak station. If you take the train from here, there are 3 trains up, 3 trains down daily. And if you walk across the river, we'll be right there. That's Illini Center. And many of the companies will be around the Loop area, that's in Chicago. Also, the West Loop is a very cool area now. Many high-tech firms, Google's are there, many high-tech companies are there as well. So we'll be within your walking distance. Greektown is very close by to the UIC campus as well. And that area is relatively safe if you're concerned about Chicago. And there are many concerts, also play and museums you want to enjoy. Many of them will be available when you were there. And you can take the train down here to hang out with your friends or invite your friend to come up to meet with you now that you are a Chicagoan, we'll call that. So again, do enjoy this opportunity to not only work, live, and play and get access to the cultural scene. There's so many things that you can do downtown Chicago.
You know, his comments actually just reminded me of something else that I should share with you, and that is we will have staff on site at the Illini Center for you to be connected with. Should you have any questions about anything, whether it's your internship or your academics, someone will be on site at the Illini Center to be a resource for you. I'll be up there on a regular basis. The faculty will be coming up, obviously, to teach your classes. So we're not sending you up there all by yourself and saying good luck. We will be available on site there to support you. Not that you guys need that much, but in case you need something from us, we're there for you, okay? Great. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, we'll just wrap it up. Again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or think of anything after you digest all of this information.